Welcome to Mexico Unexplained, where we will explore the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. This series presents information based partly on theory and conjecture. The podcaster's purpose is to suggest some possible explanation, but not necessarily the only ones to the subjects we will examine. Here is your host, Robert Bitto.
Welcome and muy bienvenidos to episode number 425 of Mexico Unexplained, where we examine the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. I'm your host, Robert Bitto. In the dead of night, March 1969, the waves off Veracruz, Mexico, churned with something unholy. On Palmar de Susana, a desolate beach between Tecolutla and Nautla, a group of farmers froze in terror. Splashing in the surf was a beast. It was massive and decidedly serpentine, its body glinting with what looked like armored plates under the moonlight. It thrashed weakly, eyes like mesmerizing black orbs staring blankly, a foul stench rolling off its decaying flesh. Some swore it was still alive, its beak-like mouth snapping feebly. Conflicting reports had the creature measuring anywhere from 60 to 72 feet and weighing up to 35 tons. This wasn't just an ordinary dead fish, it was a nightmare from the deep. The discovery sent shock waves through Tecolutla, a typical sleepy Mexican coastal town. International headlines screamed of a prehistoric monster or sea serpent dredged from the Gulf of Mexico. Was this a lost dinosaur, a Totonac sea spirit, or something science couldn't yet name? In this episode of Mexico Unexplained, we will dive into the shadows of the Tecolutla monster. It's a tale of fear, fascination, and lingering questions that still haunt Veracruz's shores. Picture this: a moonless night, the air thick with salt and dread. The farmers, likely checking their nets or patrolling the beach, stumbled upon the body of the beast by chance. Descriptions varied, but all agreed it was colossal. Estimates ranged from 60 feet to a wild 72 feet, likely exaggerated by fear and rot-distorted anatomy. Its body was eel-like, covered in what witnesses described as armored plates, or scales, with a woolly, matted mane clinging to its hide. A mouth gaped resembling the beak of a gigantic duck, and massive obsidian-black eye sockets seemed to watch the onlookers. What was the most chilling aspect of this creature? A single horn or tusk jutted from its skull. Some claimed it was a 10-foot, 1-ton bone growing out of the head of this strange sea monster. It smelled like the devil's breath, one local reportedly whispered, the stench of decay forcing some to gag. For a week, the farmers kept their find secret, with a plan to harvest the ivory of the creature to sell. Perhaps they were also afraid of ridicule or worse, but word leaked, and Tecolutla's mayor, Professor Cesar Guerrero, saw opportunity. Rather than bury the rotting hulk, he turned it into a spectacle. The mayor borrowed a large flatbed truck from the Mexican National Petroleum Company, Pemex, and transported the creature to an area of the beach in front of the lighthouse. Crowds flocked to Palmar de Susana, snapping blurry photos that can now be found online. Some just came to gawk at the grotesque heap. Was it a sea serpent from Totonac legend? A relic of a bygone era? The farmers' accounts, muddied by time and retelling, only deepened the mystery. Similar finds, like Florida's St. Augustine monster of 1896, had sparked the same awe and confusion, yet something about this beast felt uniquely Mexican, tied to the Gulf's murky depths. By April 20th, 1969, a 7-person scientific commission arrived to douse the hysteria with cold reason. Their verdict: the Tecolutla monster was no monster at all. It was simply a badly decomposed rorqual whale, likely a sei whale based on skull analysis. The armor plating was sloughing blubber, hardened by exposure. The wool forming the creature's supposed mane was decayed baleen or fibrous tissue. The beak was just a distorted jaw. That massive tusk, probably a ligament or bone fragment warped by rot and human imagination. Bernard Heuvelmans, the father of cryptozoology, classified such finds as globsters, unidentifiable organic masses, often cetaceans mistaken for mythical beasts. Tetrapod Zoology's Darren Neisch later backed this, noting how decomposition can turn whales into unique alien horrors. But cracks in the explanation persist. Besides the Arctic-dwelling narwhal found thousands of miles away from Mexico's sunny shores, whales don't have tusks, and a 10-foot bone is hard to dismiss as mere cartilage or a bone fragment. Eyewitnesses swore the creature moved when found, suggesting it wasn't fully dead, which is a detail the commission sidestepped. Some speculated it could be a rare hybrid or an unknown cetacean species, though no DNA testing was done because it was unavailable in 1969. Others pointed to the carcass's size discrepancies. 72 feet is no sei whale, which tops out around 60 feet. Could it have been multiple whales tangled together? Or was the special commission too quick to close the case under pressure from the government and eager to quell the growing panic? No modern researchers have ever been able to track down the commission's final report or notes on this incident. What happened to them? Globster science offers clues but no closure. The 1977 Zuyomaru carcass in Japan, another sea serpent, later deemed to be a basking shark, mirrors Tecolutla's story. Yet cryptozoologists argue that these dismissals ignore the outliers, the features that don't fit neat categories. For every "it's just a whale" answer, there's a nagging "but what if" that keeps the Tecolutla sea monster alive in the fringes. The Tecolutla monster didn't just wash ashore, it swam into Mexico's cultural currents. Veracruz's Totonac people have long told of sea spirits and serpentine deities, like Mixcoatl, a hunter god found in other Mesoamerican cultures, who is tied to the cosmos and nature's mysteries, often represented in Totonac legends as a large white serpent with black obsidian eyes. To some locals, the creature that washed ashore was no whale, but a manifestation of the powers of the ancient deities, a warning or omen from the vast expanse of the sea. Even skeptics couldn't ignore the timing. 1969 was a turbulent year, and unexplained phenomena often feel like the universe's commentary. The carcass itself became a bizarre tourist draw to the delight of locals who welcome visitors. Mayor Guerrero's refusal to bury it, despite the stench, which turned Tecolutla into a pilgrimage site for curiosity seekers. Photos show families posing near the rotting mass, a grim carnival of the macabre. Eventually the remains disintegrated, but some bones were preserved. They made it to Tecolutla's Marine Museum, but ended up being mixed with sperm whale parts from a 1976 stranding. Researchers cannot take away anything meaningful from this mixed-up mess of animal parts. Today, the museum's faded exhibits are more curiosity than cryptid shrine, and few outside this sleepy town know of this creature. The townsfolk, however, still market the sea monster as local lore, a quirky footnote for beachgoers. This blend of myth and tourism mirrors Mexico's broader cryptid and paranormal scene. In many such cases throughout Mexico over the years, strange creature sightings, alleged UFO crash sites, and religious apparitions often attract petty commerce, such as food vendors, souvenir photographers, and impromptu sellers of cheap toys, balloons, and other plastic goods. The Tecolutla sea monster, though solved by the experts, fits well into the Mexican tapestry of unexplained tales, where folklore, commerce, and reality blur. So, Was the Tecolutla sea monster just a whale or something more? The scientific case is strong but not airtight. That tusk, those plates, and the sheer size of the carcass nag at even the casual researcher. Other Mexican globsters, like the 1976 sperm whale in Tecolutla itself, suggest the Gulf hides oddities. Could deep-sea currents churn up creatures we've yet to catalog? The ocean is vast, and science often admits it's barely scratched the abyss. The creature's legacy lives in its unanswered questions. Were the farmers' tales embellished by fear, or did they see something taxonomy can't pin down? Was the animal alive or dead when first sighted? Why did the commission rush to a whale verdict without addressing the horn? For fans of the bizarre, this is catnip, a case where facts and mystery collide. For fans of the unknown, the Tecolutla sea monster is more than a rotting carcass. It's a window into Mexico's unexplained heart. Thank you once again for listening to another episode of Mexico Unexplained. Remember to like and subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on X and TikTok. Tell your friends by sharing these shows with others. Please go to our website, MexicoUnexplained.com, for references, illustrations, and for free access to transcripts of past shows. Please visit Amazon.com to purchase the books Mexico Unexplained, Mexican Monsters, and Mexican Miracles to get hard copies of the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. We appreciate your kind attention once again. Until next time, thank you and gracias.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Mexico Unexplained with host Robert Bitto. For show summary, relevant links and commentary, please check out our website at mexicounexplained.com. Like us on Facebook and be a part of the conversation. Adios and hasta la vista.